So the fiber, that is the wood fiber, means the fiber that are associated with the secondary xylem. They are derived from the vascular cambium. Vascular cambium is a cambium which is present in between the xylem and the phloem. So the cambium is responsible for secondary thickening. It makes the wood of the plant. So these fibers are of four types. One is labriform fiber, fiber tracheids, septate fiber, and gelatinous fiber. The first type of fiber is a labriform fiber. These fibers have slightly lignified secondary walls. So the secondary walls are not so much thick in nature. They are slightly lignified secondary wall. So the labriform fibers are having a slightly thickened, slightly lignified secondary walls with simple pits. The pits are only simple in nature because they are not surrounded by any outer border. These fibers are long. The fibers are long and having narrow lumen. The central cavity is narrow in nature. So the labriform fiber, the fibers slightly lignified secondary walls with simple pit. Pit means pores. The pores which are present in these fibers are simple in nature. These fibers are elongated, that is long, and they are narrow. Type of wood fiber is a fiber tracheids. The tracheids are the chief water conducting elements in the angiosperms. If the xylem is associated with the tracheids are called as a fiber tracheids. The tracheids are shorter than the labriform fiber. The fiber tracheids are shorter than the labriform fibers. They are having moderate lignified secondary walls. The cell walls are having a pits. The cell walls of this fiber tracheids are having the pits. They are having both the simple pit and bordered pit. The fiber tracheids are having a simple pit and also border pit. The pit is surrounded by a outer border is called as a bordered pit. So the fiber tracheids are shorter than the labriform fiber. They are thickened. They are also thickened. They possess both pits which are simple and also bordered. The third type of wood fiber is a septate fiber. In septate fiber, a fiber that have a septa. Septa means a cross wall. What is septa? The septa means a cross wall. These fibers have thin-walled septa which separates the lumen. Lumen means central cavity is separated by a thin septa into many distinct chamber. Such a type of fibers are called as septate fiber. Example, teak. So the teak wood having a septate fiber. Septa means a thin cross wall is present in the lumen of these fibers. Such a fibers are called as a septate fibers. The next type of fiber is a gelatinous fiber. The fibers in which the lignin is less in amount and the cellulose is more in this cell wall. The presence of more cell wall but less amount of lignin is present in this fibers. Such a fibers are called as a gelatinous fiber. These fibers are characteristics of tension wood which is formed in the underside of leaning stems and branches. Second type of fiber is a bast fiber or extraxillary fiber. The bast fibers are also called as a phloem fiber. What is the phloem? The phloem is the chief food conducting elements of the plant. So the phloem conduct food materials from the leaf to the other part of the plant. So if the fibers are present in the phloem, the fibers are found associated with the phloem is called as a bast fiber. So the bast fibers are strong and cellulose. The fibers are very strong and they are cellulose. Presence of more cellulose in their cell wall. The fibers obtained from the phloem are outer bark of jute, that is fiber plants, jute, kenaf, flax and hemp plant. So these fibers, the fibers are also called as a pericyclic fibers or They are phloem fibers. What is meant by bast fiber? The fibers which are found associated with the phloem of the plant is called as a bast fibers. So the natural bast fibers are strong and celluloid fibers obtained from the phloem of outer bark of jute, kinef, flax and hemp plant are called as a bast fiber. Then third, surface fibers. These surface fibers are the fibers which are found in the seed coat of some seeds, such as a cotton seed and silk cotton seeds are having the surface fibers. What is meant by surface fibers? The fibers which are found in the seed coat of some seeds such as silk cotton and cotton are called as a surface fiber. The next fourth type of fiber is a mesocarp fiber. What is meant by mesocarp? The fruit having a 3 layers. The fruit's walls are having 3 layers are called as a pericarp. So the pericarp is classified into outer ectocarp and middle mesocarp and inner endocarp. So the mesocarp of some fruits are having the fiber. So such a fibers are called as a mesocarp fibers. So the fibers obtained from the mesocarp of a drupes. Drupes are one-seeded simple fruit like coconuts. They are having the fibers. The coconut, the middle part of the fruit is fibrous in nature. Such a fibers are called as a mesocarp fiber. They are used for making ropes. So what is meant by mesocarp fiber? The mesocarp of the fruit is having a fiber. Such a fibers are called as a mesocarp fiber. Then last type of fiber is a leaf fiber. So the fiber which is obtained from the leaf of the plant is called as a leaf fibers. So the leaf of the plant is used to make a fiber is called as a leaf fibers. Example, musa. Musa means a banana. Agave plant and sensoria are used, the leaves are used to make fibers. The next uses of fiber in our daily life. So the fibers which are used in our daily lives is, so textile fibers, surface fiber, soft fiber, hard fibers, brush fibers, rough weaving fiber, paper making fiber, filling fibers. The first type of fiber is which is used for our daily life is textile fiber. The fiber utilized for the manufacture of fabrics, knittings and cartage are, so the fibers which are used in the manufacture of fabrics to make a net and cardage. So the cardages are called as a textile fiber. In this textile fibers, surface fiber. Example for surface fiber is a cotton. What is meant by surface fiber? The fiber which is obtained from the seed coat is called as a surface fiber. This surface fiber are used to make a thread for manufacturing clothes. So cotton, soft fiber, the fiber which are used to make the bags such as flax, jute and remi. So these fibers are used to make ropes or bag. Hard fiber, example for hard fiber is a sisal, coconut, pineapple and abaca. So these fibers are also used to make the ropes. Brush fiber, the fiber which are utilized for the manufacture of brushes and brooms. So the manufacture of brush and brooms are called as a brush fiber. Rough weaving fiber, so this rough weaving fibers are used in making basket, chair and mats. Paper making fiber, the wood fiber which are used to make for paper making. It is used in paper industries. Filling fiber, the fiber which is used to fill the cushions, mattresses, pillows, furniture. Example for this fibers are bambex, that is cotton and silk cotton. So permanent tissues. What is meant by permanent tissue? The permanent tissues which lacks the power of a cell division either permanently or temporarily is called as a permanent tissue. So this permanent tissues are classified into simple tissue and complex tissue. What is my simple tissue? The simple tissue is a tissue which is made up of only one type of cells. So the simple tissues is again classified into three types. One is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So parenchyma and collenchyma are you learnt in last class. So in this class, the sclerenchyma is made up of two type of tissues. One is sclerids and fibers. The sclerids and fibers, there are different type of sclerids and also different type of sclerids we seen in this topic. So next we go to the complex tissues. What does mean by complex tissue? A complex tissue is a tissue which is made up of more than one type of cells but all are doing similar function. So what does mean by complex tissue? A complex tissue is a tissue which is made up of more than one type of the cell which are having common function. The two type of complex tissues are xylem and phloem. The xylem is a chief water conducting tissue, whereas the phloem is a chief food conducting tissues in plants. So first, complex tissue. A complex tissue is a tissue which is made up of several types of cells but are functioning in a single unit. Is called as a complex tissue. A complex tissue is of two types. One is a xylem and a phloem. The xylem is the chief water conducting element in the vascular plants. The term xylem was introduced by Naegeli. So what is a xylem? The xylem is the principal water conducting elements in a vascular plants. The term xylem is first introduced by Naegeli. The xylem is derived from the Greek word. It means wood. So the xylem, which is derived from the procambium. The procambium is a meristematic tissue which makes the primary xylem. So the procambium makes the primary xylem and the xylem which is derived from the vascular cambium. So the secondary cambium is called as a secondary xylem. So the procambium which forms the primary xylem and vascular cambium forms the secondary xylem. The earlierly formed, that is first formed primary xylem is called as a protoxylem. The first formed xylem elements are called as a protophloem, whereas the latter formed primary xylem element is called as a metaxylem. So the protoxylem is first formed xylem elements and metaxylem later formed xylem elements. The protoxylem lies towards the periphery and the metaxylem lies towards the center. Is called as a exarch which is present in roots. So exarch xylem means the protoxylem. So this is a protoxylem. So the protoxylem which are facing towards the periphery. Periphery means a corners. This is a periphery and this region is called as a center of the root. So the protoxylem is facing towards the periphery, whereas the central larger one is a metaxylem which is present or facing towards the center. So such type of a xylem is called as a exarch xylem. What is meant by exarch xylem? If the protoxylem is facing towards the periphery, the metaxylem is facing towards the center is called as a exarch. The exarch xylem is present in the roots. The next type of xylem is a endarch xylem. If the protoxylem, this is a smaller one, is a protoxylem. It is a center part of the stem. If the protoxylem facing toward the center, the larger one is a metaxylem. If the metaxylem is facing towards the periphery, periphery means a corners, such a type of a xylem is called as endarch. The protoxylem is facing towards the center, metaxylem is facing towards the periphery. Such a type of xylem is called as a endarch xylem. The endarch xylem is present in stem. So exarch xylem is present in the roots, endarch xylem is present in the stem. The third type of xylem is a centrarch. The centrarch xylem, the protoxylem, the smaller xylem, the protoxylems are present at the center, whereas it is surrounded by the metaxylem, the larger. So the smaller one is a protoxylem which is present at the center. These xylems are surrounded by the metaxylem which are larger. Such a type of xylem is called as centrarch xylem. In centrarch xylem, only one vascular strand is present. Only one vascular strand is present in the centrarch xylem. Example for centrarch is a Selaginella, a pteridophyte Selaginella. In centrarch, the protoxylem is present at the center. It is surrounded by the metaxylem. Only one strand is present in this type, centrarch. Mesor's xylem. In Mesor's xylem, the same as centrarch, the middle is having a protoxylem which is surrounded by metaxylem. In Mesor's xylem, there are many vascular strands are present. There are several vascular plant are present, but in centrarch only one vascular strand is present. Here, many vascular strand is present. Mesorch, the center protoxylem is present, which is surrounded by metaxylem. In Mesor's xylem, there are several vascular strands are developed in this. Example, Ophioglossum. Complex tissue. A complex tissue consists of several kind of cells, but all of them are functions as a together. A single unit is called as a complex tissue. So several type of cells doing similar function is called as a complex tissue. There are two type of complex tissues are there. One is a xylem, another one is a phloem. So what is xylem? The xylem is the principal water conducting elements. So the xylem is a principal water conducting elements. It consists of four different type of cells. So today you are going to learn about the types of xylem cells. So the xylem is consist of four different kind of conducting tissues such as tracheids, vessels or trachea, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. What is a tracheids? Tracheids. The tracheids are chief water conducting elements in xylem. The tracheids are dead and lignified. So the tracheids are dead tissues which are thick in nature and they are elongated. So they are the tracheids are elongated with tapering ends. The ends are very narrow in nature. Its lumen, the central cavity is broader than that of the fibers. So what last class you learned about fibers. So the tracheids lumen is broader than that of the fibers. In cross section, the tracheids are polygonal in nature. That in cross section, the tracheids shape is polygonal. There are different type of cell wall thickening is present in the tracheids due to the deposition of the secondary wall thickening substance such as hemicellulose. Due to the deposition of the lignin hemicellulose, the secondary wall is thick in nature. So the thickenings are of different shape. Sometimes the thickening on the secondary wall is angular. They are ring-like. So angular means a ring-like. Sometimes they are spring-like, spiral. Sometimes the thickening is ladder-like, and sometimes the thickening is reticulate, net-like, and sometimes the thickening is present at ununiformly thick except at the pits. Except the pits, the remaining part are thick in nature. So this type of secondary wall thickening is called as a pitted thickening. So due to the deposition of the secondary wall substances, there are five different type of secondary wall thickening is seen in the tracheids. That is angular. Angular means the secondary wall thickening is ring-like, spiral, spring-like, reticulate. So the secondary wall thickening is net-like and scalariform. The thickening is like a ladder-like, and pitted except the pit, whereas the remaining part are thick in nature. So there are 5 different type of secondary wall thickening is present in the tracheids. The tracheids are imperforated. Imperforated means their end wall does not possess any pores. Here the pores are absent in the end walls. Imperforated cells. Only the conduction of water. So the conduction of water takes place through the pits which are present in the side walls. So the conduction of water takes place through the bordered pit. The bordered pits present at the side wall of the tracheids. The tracheids are the chief water conducting elements in the gymnosperms. They are absent in the angiosperms. So the tracheids are the chief water conducting elements in the gymnosperms. They are arranged one above the others. The tracheids are arranged one above the others. The tracheids are chief water conducting elements in gymnosperms and pteridophytes. They are also offer mechanical support to the plant. So the tracheids are chief water conducting elements in the gymnosperms and pteridophytes. The tracheids are absent in angiosperms. So the tracheids are also a very important 3-mark question. So tracheids they are dead and lignified and elongated cells with tapering end. The next topic is vessels. The vessels are also called as trachea. So the trachea or vessels are the chief water conducting elements in the angiosperms. They are absent in the gymnosperms. The vessels are elongated tube-like structure. The vessels are elongated tube-like structure. The vessels are elongated tube-like structure. They are dead cells they are dead cells formed from a row of vessel elements placed end to end. So these are placed end to end of the stem. They are perforated. The end walls are having the pores. Both the end walls are having the pores. So the tracheids are imperforated, whereas the trachea or vessels are perforated. End walls are present. Here the conduction of water takes place through the end walls. They are lumen. The central cavity is wider than that of the tracheids. The lumen is wider than that of the tracheids. Sometimes due to the deposition of the secondary wall materials. Here also there are 5 different type of vessels are present, such as annular, spiral, reticulate, scalariform and pitted. Due to the dissolution of the entire cell wall, the perforation plate may be a single perforation plate is obtained at their end wall. This type of perforation plate is called as a simple perforation plate. So due to the dissolution of their end wall, there is a formation of perforation plate is occur. So if it is single means it is called as a simple perforation plate. Example, Mangifera indica. Sometimes dissolution of their end walls forms many perforation plates. The many perforation plates are present means it is called as a multiple perforation plate. Example, Liriodendron. So the Liriodendron is an example for the multiple perforation plate. What does mean by multiple perforation plate? Due to the dissolution of their end walls, many pores are present means it is called as a multiple perforation plate. Example, Liriodendron. So the trachea or the chief water conducting elements in the angiosperms, they are absent in the gymnosperms. So the trachea or vessels are absent in the gymnosperms. They are occur only in the angiosperms. They are the chief water conducting elements in the angiosperms and also offer the mechanical support to the plant. Vessels are present in the gymnosperm neatum. So vessels are mostly absent in gymnosperms except the neatum. The vessels are present in the gymnosperms. So the main function of the vessels are to conduct water, minerals and also offers mechanical strength to the plant. The next conducting element of the xylem is a xylem fiber. If the fibers of a sclerenchyma associated with the xylem is called as a xylem fiber. So if the fibers of sclerenchyma associated with the xylem is called as a xylem fibers, the xylem fiber is also a dead tissue. So its lumen center cavity is narrow in nature. They cannot conduct the water, but being stronger provide mechanical support to the or mechanical strength to the plant. They are present both in primary and also secondary xylem. The xylem fibers are called as a labriform fiber. The xylem fibers are called as a labriform fiber. What is meant by xylem fiber? If the fiber of the sclerenchyma cells are found associated with the xylem is called as a xylem fiber. The lumen of the xylem fibers are narrow in nature. They cannot conduct water, but they assist in the conduction of water and also provide a mechanical support to the plant. They are present both in the primary xylem and also secondary xylem. The xylem of fibers are called as a labriform fiber. The xylem fibers are also called as a labriform fibers. The xylem fibers possess a simple pit. The xylem fibers are abundantly found in many plants. They occur in patches, in continuous band, and sometimes singly among the other cells. Between xylem fiber and normal tracheids, there are many transitional forms which are either typical fibers nor atypical tracheids. The transition types are designed as a fiber tracheids. The pits of the fiber tracheids are smaller than those of the vessels and the typical tracheids. Xylem parenchyma. If the parenchyma cells which are found associated with the xylem is called as a xylem parenchyma. Among the four conducting elements of the xylem parenchyma is only a living cell, whereas the other conducting elements are the dead cells. So the xylem parenchyma is only a living cells in xylem tissue. The cell walls of the xylems are made up of thin walled. The cell wall of the xylem parenchyma is a thin walled. They are made up of cellulose. The parenchymas arranged longitudinally along the long axis of the stem is called as the axial parenchyma. The parenchyma which are long, they are arranged along the long axil means that is along the stem means it is called as a axial parenchyma. If the parenchyma, they are arranged in radial rows. They are arranged in a radial rows are called as a ray parenchyma. So if the parenchyma which are arranged in a radial manner are called as a ray parenchyma. Secondary xylem consists of both axial parenchyma and also ray parenchyma. Parenchyma, the chief function of the parenchyma is which store reserve food materials and also helps in the conduction of water. So if the parenchyma are found associated with the xylem is called as a xylem parenchyma. The parenchymas are thin walled. The parenchymas are thin walled. Its cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. There are two type of xylem parenchymas are there. One is axial parenchyma and ray parenchyma. The axial parenchymas are arranged in a axial parenchymas are arranged along the long axis of the stem is called as the axial parenchyma. If it is arranged in a radial arrangement rows means they are called as a ray parenchyma. The secondary xylem consists of both axial parenchyma and also ray parenchyma. The function of this is to store reserve food materials and also helps in the conduction of water. The next complex tissue is phloem. The phloem is the chief food conducting element. The phloem is a food conducting complex tissue of a vascular plant. The term phloem was first coined by Nagali in the year 1858. The phloem is which is derived from the procambium. The phloem is derived from the procambium of apical meristems are called as a primary phloem. The phloem elements which are produced by the vascular cambium is called as a secondary phloem. The earlier formed phloem is called as a primary protophlorium, whereas the latter formed phloem is called as a metaphloem. So the earlier formed phloems are smaller in size are called as a protophlorium. The latter formed phloem are larger in size. They are called as a metaphloem. So the protophlorium is short-lived. It is crushed by the development of the metaphloem. So what is a phloem? The phloem is one of the complex tissue. It conducts food material to various parts of the plant. The phloem elements which are formed from the procambium are called as a primary phloem. The phloem which are derived from the vascular cambium is called as a secondary phloem. Earlierly formed primary phloem elements which are smaller in size are called as a protophlorium. The latter formed primary phloem elements are larger in size are called as a metaphloem. The protophloriums are short-lived. Later they are crushed by the development of the metaphloem.